Welcome back, everyone, to the Zanpakuto Creation Series. Today, from Ricardo Player 1, we have the question that is eternally asked by all of us here. What is the Zanpakuto of Sam Winchester from Supernatural? Me and my girlfriend are currently on season 6, just going through it. No, I mean, we're not going through it. We're taking, we, watch a season. After we, finish the first 5, we're now going season, watch something else, season, watch something else. So right now we're on season 6. Supernatural is interesting because their story arcs, like things with the Yellow-Eyed Demon, Soulless Sam being the vessel for Lucifer, all these actually can play a factor in determining what the Zanpakuto can do because they're just directly impacting their souls as a whole. And should know he also asked for Dean, so at some point we'll do Dean too. But Sam, because he's a lot more intelligent, he's a bit more of a thinker, a bit more strategist. And because of where I think we can go, especially with being tied to his soul, I think it's a Keto type Zanpakuto. Absolutely. It's a standard katana like most are. Its name would be its release would be Take and Make Yours. Devil's Son. Its Bankai is Devil's Son's Destiny. So it's a Akuma no Musuko and Daruta Shuta Musutu no Ume. It's now Spirit. That's a little difficult to say. I think you could say, you could maybe have it be Lilith, but a yellow-eyed version of Lilith, because he's got female influences in his life, certainly. Though it could be like something that looks a little bit like the yellow-eyed demon as well. I believe it's Azrael. But what does the Zanpakuto do? Well, since we're tying it pretty closely to Sam's former abilities anyway in the series, I think it as a Keto type, this is one of those swords that really doesn't change form very much, if at all. I could see it maybe taking a slightly different shape. Maybe looking a little bit more like a scimitar or a machete or something like that. Still being a sword, mind you, but maybe just mildly being shaped different, because he is a hunter. But regardless, it's because we're kind of translating Supernatural to Bleach, this would basically be manipulation of hollows. And because what his sword does, obviously, is what he had for abilities came from drinking demon's blood and as a baby. So he had telekinetic capabilities. I think he even had, I don't recall if he had mind reading capabilities, but he also had the ability to exorcise demons. The problem is he also consumed demon blood and became addicted to that. So molding that into a Zanpakuto, I think, is actually very interesting. I think this Zanpakuto's main ability is actually specifically hollow cleansing. This is a unique Zanpakuto in that sense, where it can cleanse a hollow just by stabbing it. Where instead of something where a hollow you have to actually kill the hollow, this is essentially just stabbed and there's just cleanse it and you're good to go. Now, a byproduct of this, though, is the telekinetic capabilities, I think. It allows him to immobilize the hollow and cleanse it very easily. Now, you might think, well, this means he's one of the best Shinigami ever, period. Because that's what Shinigami do. And you're not entirely wrong. In terms of, cleaning up hollows and stuff like that, he would have whenever he became a lieutenant or a captain or whatever, he would have been among the best there is at doing that. However, it comes at the cost of the hunger. You see, his Bankai allows him to do this now on a mass effect without even touching the hollows. If he is surrounded by, say, like 24 hollows, and they're around him, and within 100-meter radius, he can just say Bankai. And all of a sudden, the telekinetic ability is far enhanced, and he can literally just focus and just conso without being able to touch them. But here's the problem, is that a byproduct of the Zanpakuto that maybe his spirit doesn't tell him, and that he probably doesn't realize at first, is that every time he cleanses a hollow, he takes a little bit, a fraction, not even 10, 5% of hollow's Ryoku, that power, into his body, into his sword. And furthermore, so he's actually consistently getting stronger every time he fights a hollow. with Bankai, he can get like Mass Effect stronger, like seriously stronger. Now, the catch obviously on that is while he's getting stronger, is he becoming more hollow? Well, the answer to that would actually be yes. This is a very odd Zanpakuto, I think, in the fact that it essentially can turn him into a natural visor. But if he's not careful, a natural Arankar or hollow into a Arankar, whatever. Basically, it could theoretically turn him into a hollow if he's not careful. And the other problem is that the sword is constantly hungry for more hollows. So, and a sword is him. Remember, your sword is you. The blade is you, and you are the blade. You are the same individuals. So Sam will slowly start seeking more and more battle until he's actually maybe getting like kind of bloodlusted for hollows after a little bit. Of course, at that point, someone else is going to have to step in. Now, the question then becomes, could there be a way to undo what he could do? And the answer to that is yes. I think that would be like a final like cleansing ability for Sam, but it'd be something that the sword is kind of like, it's like a weird inverse of Getsuga Tensho, I think. That's not the best way to put it. Mugetsu is what I meant. Final Getsuga Tensho. It's basically the sword doesn't want to teach him this technique because he wants Sam to become this powerful. It wants Sam to become strong. And yet Sam's like, I could see it being like this. Sam confronts his sword with it because he's like, I don't want to be this. Like, Sam, I'm doing this all for you. And I could see it being a family figure. Like, maybe looking like his girlfriend, honestly. His first girlfriend that got killed. Like, she's just like holding his face. I'm doing this all for you so you can be the best, the strongest. Don't you want that? No, I didn't want that, damn it. It's like, you're going to tell me how to undo this. Purge all this out of my body. I won't tell you. I'm not going to tell you that, Sam. If you want that, you're going to have to make me submit. It's like fine. Sam has to like fight, duke it out. And just like with Ichigo, he finally was like, no, this isn't how it's going to go down. It's like, and he's like, he thinks if you're going to, thinks she wants to like, Sam? He's like, damn it. I thought that was going to kill me, but this doesn't hurt. You bastard. And it's like, crap. He figured it out. He figured out that I just want. And again, the sword is actually weirdly enough coming from a good place. It's just that the sword's personality is a little hungry for power, similar to, weirdly enough, Sam is kind of hungry for power to help people. It's just he goes about it the wrong way a lot. Sam has made some bad choices just in the 6 seasons, or 5.5. I'm only halfway through 6. But the point is, yeah. And so the final ability would be to purge the hollow energy from his body and his blade and release it in like one final Mugetsu style attack. Now, this doesn't drain him of his Shinigami powers. It actually drains him of his hollow powers. And this basically puts him back down to empty. So he can then start, cleansing hollows again, all that. And once he got to that point, now he would know, okay, this is my limit. Maybe I can go past my limit if I have to someday, but right now this is my limit. When I get to my limit, I'll use this technique. So, yeah, I think it's a really cool idea for a Zanpakuto. The one that someone also said Joker might have a Zanpakuto that would deal with hollows too. I think this works really cool for Sam, especially as we could translate Supernatural from it to Bleach. Again, Ryatsu to Ryatsu, though that'd be a weakness to the blade. The blade also, apart from the telekinesis, does not really have any strong combat sense. And while it would be similar to something like what Rose does against the Hollows in Fake Kurakura Town, the telekinesis is not a one-to-one ability. Again, Ryatsu to Ryatsu is a problem. So if he's fighting against someone like Yamamoto, Ichigo, Kampachi, Ichibe, and Aizen, anyone who's Ryatsu would completely dominate his. The telekinesis probably at most just kind of like slows him down. So there's that problem. Even in Bankai, it still would be a problem. Apart from that, the telekinesis could stop maybe like physical attacks. Like if he fought Sajin, for example, and used his Shikai, either he could stop the sword of Tekken from coming, Kakujo Tengen Yo. He could stop the Bankai's blade from coming, or at least slow it down, maybe in his own Bankai, because the telekinesis would be upped. Then he could stop it. But against like things like elemental attacks, like fire, for example, he can't really stop. Maybe he could throw out like a spear of telekinetic energy, but it only would do so much. Individuals like Shunsui, like stepping on a shadow, for example, with Kageyone, would not. He can't stop that. So esoteric, more weird, nuanced Zanpakutos like that really would be a problem for him as well. And obviously something like Ichimonji would be a problem, or Ryo Kujaku would be an issue. Honestly, Rukia Zanpakuto would be an issue. So this is nowhere near an infallible Zanpakuto, but it's a very unique idea for one, I think. We'll get to Dean another time. Don't worry, we will. But until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.